Hello, I'm Jason with MainStreetEnglish.com. In this lesson, I am going to tell you everything that you need to know about nouns. Why nouns? Because nouns are important. There are several types of English nouns. It's good to recognize what type a noun is, because different types sometimes have different rules. Having this knowledge will help you use them correctly. In this lesson, we will talk about concrete nouns, abstract nouns, common nouns, proper nouns, singular nouns, plural nouns, irregular plural nouns, compound nouns, countable nouns, and uncountable nouns. That's a lot of nouns. So keep watching, and remember, you can hit subscribe at any time during this video to check out more of my free English lessons. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's begin with concrete nouns. Concrete nouns are people, places, and things, including animals. I know animals aren't things, but that's the category they fall into. You can feel, taste, smell, see, and hear concrete nouns. You can perceive them with your 5 senses. Let's go over some examples. When talking about people, concrete nouns, you might use words like man, woman, doctor, or teacher. When talking about place, concrete nouns, you might use words like store, forest, house, or zoo. When talking about thing, concrete nouns, you might use words like computer, horse, pizza, or car. Now, let's continue with abstract nouns. Unlike concrete nouns, you can't perceive abstract nouns with your 5 senses. Abstract nouns are ideas, qualities, states of being, and emotions. Even though you can't feel, taste, smell, see, or hear abstract nouns, they are real and represent things. Let's go over some examples. Friendship, curiosity, and knowledge are abstract nouns that can represent ideas. Courage, generosity, and patience are abstract nouns that can represent qualities. Satisfaction, nervousness, and peace are abstract nouns that can represent states of being. Happiness, anger, and love are abstract nouns that can represent emotions. Let's talk about what common nouns and proper nouns are and how they're different from each other. A common noun is the general, non-specific term for a person, place, thing, or idea. Common nouns are never capitalized unless they begin a sentence or appear in a title. Common nouns can be concrete or abstract. A proper noun is a specific or unique person, place, thing, or idea. Unlike common nouns, proper nouns are almost always capitalized, whether they begin a sentence or not. Proper nouns can also be concrete or abstract. Let's use some examples to illustrate the differences between common nouns and proper nouns. Doctor is a common person noun. Dr. Smith is a proper person noun. Ocean is a common place noun. Pacific Ocean is a proper place noun. Car is a common thing noun. Tesla is a proper thing noun. Holiday is a common abstract noun. New Year's Day is a proper abstract noun. I love doing examples like this. Let's do a few more. Man is a common person noun. Jason is a proper person noun. City is a common place noun. Paris is a proper place noun. Computer is a common thing noun. MacBook is a proper thing noun. Nationality is a common abstract noun. Irish is a proper abstract noun. We've talked a lot about concrete nouns, abstract nouns, common nouns, and proper nouns. Let's put that knowledge to the test and try to find the nouns in the following sentences. My friend John goes to the gym every day. I admire his dedication. He is very strong. What are the nouns in these sentences? In the first sentence, my friend John goes to the gym every day, we have three nouns: friend, John, and Jim. What kind of noun is friend? It's a common noun. What kind of noun is John? Yes, it's a proper noun. What kind of noun is Jim? Correct. Another common noun. Friend, John, and Jim are also concrete nouns, as we can perceive them with our five senses. Next sentence. I admire his dedication. How many nouns are in this sentence? Only one. Dedication. A common abstract noun. I and his are pronouns, so they don't count for this exercise. Our last sentence. He is very strong. What are the nouns in this sentence? None. There are no nouns in this sentence. He is a pronoun, so that doesn't count for this exercise as well. I'm sorry if I tricked you with that one. I talk about pronouns at length in another video, so make sure you look in my channel for that video after you're done watching this one. Now, let's talk about singular nouns and plural nouns. Singular nouns are fairly straightforward. Singular means one. So when using a noun in its singular form, you might use nouns like a cat, a book, one book. For example, do you have a cat? Yes, I have one cat. Where is your book? I have one book in my bag. When it comes to changing singular nouns into plural nouns, nouns that indicate a quantity of more than one, typically you will just add s to the end of the singular noun. So, cat will become cats. Book becomes books. Do you like cats? She has 10 cats. Where are your books? There are many books at the library. Unfortunately, changing singular nouns into plural nouns is not always that easy. As with many things in English, there are exceptions. If you have a singular noun that ends with S, SS, SH, CH, X, or Z, and you wish to make that noun plural, you must add ES to the end of the noun to make it plural. Not just S, but ES. So for example, bus becomes buses. Dress becomes dresses. Dish becomes dishes. Rich becomes riches. Box becomes boxes. And quiz becomes quizzes. There is one small exception when it comes to adding ES to the end of these nouns. If your noun ends with CH, but the CH is pronounced with a K sound, like a K, you will just add S. So for example, stomach becomes stomachs. Oligarch becomes oligarchs. This is a very small exception. There are not that many words in English that end with CH and that CH is pronounced with a K sound. Stomach is the most common one. The rest of them are not everyday English words. They exist. There's maybe about 10 of them, but stomach is the one that you have to remember. Okay, so moving on. If you have a singular noun that ends with F or FE after a consonant or a single vowel, you will change the F or FE to VES. So again, your singular noun ends with F or FE, and that follows a consonant or a single vowel. You change that F or FE to VES. For example, wolf becomes wolves. Knife becomes knives. If you have a noun that ends with two vowels followed by an F, you just add S. So roof, two vowels and then an F, roof becomes roofs. Chief, two vowels and then a single F, chief becomes chiefs. And again, there are some exceptions to words ending with F or FE. There is no rhyme or reason for these exceptions. Unfortunately, you just must remember them. Leaf ends with two vowels and an F. So normally we would just add S. But in the case of leaf, leaf becomes leaves. Chef ends with a single vowel and an F. Normally, following the previous rule, we would change that F to VES, but again, this is an exception. Chef becomes chefs. Now, let's talk about singular nouns that end with Y. How do we change singular nouns that end with Y into plural nouns? If your singular noun ends with a consonant and Y, change that Y to IES. Consonant Y, the Y changes to IES to make a plural noun. For example, berry ends with a consonant and Y, RY, so that Y will change to IES to make berries. Another example, puppy. Puppy ends with a consonant and Y, P-Y. So to make puppies, we change that Y to I-E-S. Puppy becomes puppies. If your singular noun ends with a vowel and Y, leave the Y alone. Just add S. Just add S. Boy ends with a vowel and Y, so we just simply add S to make boys. Key ends with a vowel and Y, so again, we leave that Y alone. We just add S. Key becomes keys. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about singular nouns that end with the letter O. How do we make those plural? Singular nouns that end with O can be a little tricky because for many examples, for many situations, you just simply have to remember. Do you just add S or ES? There is one rule, but for singular nouns that end with O, there's a lot of memorization. Well, here's the rule that works. If your noun ends with a vowel and O, simply add S. Vowel O, simply add S. So the word radio ends with a vowel and O, so radio becomes radios. Another example would be tattoo. The singular noun tattoo ends with two vowels. In this situation, O-O. To make the singular noun tattoo plural, simply add S. It becomes tattoos. For everything else, for every other singular noun ending with O, you simply have to remember whether you add S or ES. Here's a couple of examples. The word photo, photo, to make singular noun photo into a plural noun, you will simply add S. Photo becomes photos. The singular noun tomato, to turn tomato plural, add ES. Both photo and tomato end with TO. Photo, add S. Tomato, add ES. You just have to remember these ones. On top of that, sometimes for singular nouns ending with O, it's okay to use S or ES. You can use either one. Both are acceptable. For example, volcano, the singular noun volcano. To make that plural, you can add S or ES. Both are acceptable. Volcano, volcanoes, volcanoes. Another example, mango. Mango. To make the singular noun mango plural, you can add S or ES. Both are acceptable. Mango, mangoes, mangoes. Moving on, let's talk about irregular nouns. Any noun that you don't add S or ES to make plural is an irregular noun. The actual structure of the word, the structure of the irregular noun changes when you make it plural. Unfortunately, there are no rules to remember when it comes to making irregular nouns plural. They simply must be remembered. Some of the most common nouns in English are irregular nouns. Nouns like man. The plural of man is men. I see one man. I see 10 men. Child and children. They have one child. They have 3 children. Woman and women. The woman is eating. The women are eating. Person and people. There is one person in line to buy ice cream. There are 5 people in line to buy ice cream. Foot and feet. My bird only has 1 foot. My dog has 4 feet. Tooth, teeth. The baby only has 1 tooth. The shark has a mouth full of teeth. Mouse and mice. Ah, do you see? There is a mouse. There are many mice in the field. And there are irregular nouns that have the same form, whether they are singular or plural. Words like sheep. There is 1 sheep in the barn. There are 5 sheep in the barn. Fish. Fish is the same whether it is singular or plural. I only caught 1 fish today, but my friend caught 10 fish. Deer. If you are quiet, you might see a deer in the field. Look, there are 3 deer over there. Aircraft. What's that noise? An aircraft is flying overhead. I like to go to the air show to see all the different aircraft. Or even words like shrimp. That restaurant was very bad. I only received 1 shrimp with my order. The restaurant I went to yesterday gave me a pile of shrimp on my plate. And there are irregular nouns that always get used in the plural form. Words like pants. You will say, I am wearing pants today. But you will not say, I am wearing 4 pants today. Doesn't make sense. Jeans. How many jeans do you have? I have 5 jeans. Glasses. I am wearing glasses. But you would not say they are wearing 5 glasses. They are wearing glasses. The same goes for sunglasses. There are many kinds of sunglasses in the store. He has a favorite pair of sunglasses. And scissors. Can you please pass the scissors? How many pairs of scissors do we have in the classroom? Let's talk about compound nouns. What is a compound noun? Basically, a compound noun is 2 or more words stuck together to make a new noun. Compound nouns are so common in everyday English usage that you probably don't even realize that you use them every day. Like regular nouns, compound nouns communicate a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. They can be common nouns like motorcycle, proper nouns like Eiffel Tower, or abstract nouns like heartbroken. There are a number of different ways to form compound nouns. One of the easiest ways to form a compound noun is to place 2 nouns together. For example, football or policeman. Another way that you can create compound nouns is by combining a noun and a verb. For example, sunrise or haircut or bus stop. Another way to form compound nouns is to combine an adjective and a noun, like full moon or blackboard. Common nouns can also be formed by combining nouns and prepositional phrases, such as 10-year-old or commander-in-chief. We can also create compound nouns by combining verbs and nouns, like swimming pool or hunting license. Compound nouns can also be created by combining prepositions and nouns, such as upstairs, overnight, downtown, or checkup. There are three kinds of compound nouns: closed compound nouns, open compound nouns, and hyphenated compound nouns. Closed compound nouns are when the words have been basically smooshed together to make one word. There are no spaces between the words that comprise the closed compound noun. Some examples of closed compound nouns are words like pancake or keyboard. Open compound nouns are not connected. There is a space between the words. Even though open compound nouns look like two separate words, they are considered a single noun. That is because they convey a distinct concept. Some examples of open compound nouns are words like strawberry jam or ice cream. Our last compound noun is hyphenated compound nouns. As you might suspect, the words comprising a hyphenated compound noun are joined by hyphens. Some examples of hyphenated compound nouns are words like merry-go-round or self-defense. There are a couple of things to watch out for when it comes to using compound nouns. Number one, don't confuse compound nouns with homophones. What I mean by that is, it's possible that a compound noun could share its pronunciation with a two-word phrase. They will have the same pronunciation, but the meanings can be entirely different. For example, the compound noun takeout shares the same pronunciation with the two-word phrase take out. Maybe if you're hungry and you want something for dinner, you'll get some takeout. Or somebody might ask you to take out the garbage. Take out, take out. Another example is goldfish. Why are you going to the pet store? I want to buy a goldfish. Why are you going to the pet store? I want to buy a goldfish. And of course, one of the easiest and most common examples of this is greenhouse. I grow tomatoes in my greenhouse, but I live in a greenhouse. The second thing to watch out for with compound nouns is when making them plural. Unfortunately, there isn't a solid rule in place for making a compound noun plural, but generally, when you pluralize a compound noun, you will do it to the portion of the compound noun that carries the greater meaning. For example, let's look at the compound noun motorcycle. Motorcycle. Which part of this compound noun carries the greater meaning? Cycle. So motorcycle becomes motorcycles. Another example, swimming pool. What part of this compound noun carries the greater meaning? Pool. So swimming pool becomes swimming pools. Let's talk about countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are nouns we can count using numbers. I'm going to say it again because that's the most important thing to remember when determining whether your noun is countable or uncountable. We can use numbers with countable nouns. For example, 1 cat, 3 cats, 1 flower, 10 flowers, 1 cup, 4 cups. Uncountable nouns cannot be counted with numbers because of their state or quantity. By state, I mean things like water. You can't count water on its own. By quantity, I mean things like sugar or sand. They exist in large enough quantities that counting them on their own is impractical. You also can't count abstract nouns or concepts with numbers. For example, you can't count love. Some other common uncountable nouns are tea, rice, air, money, and cheese. To count uncountable nouns, you need to use a word or words before the uncountable noun to measure it. For example, water. I can use the word bottle before water to count it. I see 3 bottles of water. Or cheese. I can use the word piece before cheese to count it. I'd like 4 pieces of cheese, please. One more. Rice. I can use the word bowl to count rice. Would you like 2 bowls of rice? Some nouns can be both countable and uncountable, depending on how they're used. For example, time. If you use time to define the length of an activity, it is uncountable. For example, how much time did it take for you to finish the video game? But if you use time to define a number of instances, it is countable. For example, I have seen that movie 4 times. The noun chicken is another noun that can be both countable and uncountable. When talking about food, chicken is uncountable. I had chicken for dinner. When using chicken to talk about a kind of animal, it is countable. My grandpa kept 3 chickens in his backyard. Last example, memory. When using memory to define the ability to remember, it is uncountable. I have a good memory. When using memory to recall past events, it is countable. I have many good memories of my holiday in Spain. Some other nouns that can be countable or uncountable are glass, hair, and meat. Do you have any questions about nouns after watching this video lesson? Please leave a comment and let me know. And please remember to hit like if you enjoyed this lesson and subscribe to check out more of my free English lessons. I'm Jason from MainStreetEnglish.com. Thank you and see you again.